The Spanish Inquisition, a phrase that sends chills down the spine, began in 1478. This birth of an era marked by fear, persecution, and widespread destruction was not an isolated event. It was the culmination of a series of socio-political circumstances intertwined with the ambitions of powerful individuals and the Church's desire to enforce religious orthodoxy. The late 15th century was a time of change and uncertainty in Spain. The kingdoms of Castile and Aragon had united under the rule of Ferdinand II and Isabella I, a power couple with a vision of a unified Catholic Spain. Their ambitions didn't stop at territorial consolidation. They aimed to forge a religiously homogeneous nation, free of what they deemed heretical influences. At the time, Spain was a melting pot of cultures and religions. Christians, Jews, and Muslims coexisted, albeit with simmering tensions. It was in this context that the Catholic monarchs, aided by the Church, laid the groundwork for the Inquisition. They sought to root out heresy, a mission that would lead to the persecution of thousands, particularly Jews and Muslims. The Church's involvement was significant. Pope Sixtus IV, initially reluctant, eventually conceded to the monarch's request for an inquisition in Spain. However, he soon regretted this decision, as he watched the Inquisition spiral out of control, becoming a tool for the monarch's political machinations rather than a means of preserving religious purity. Thus, a dark era of religious persecution was born, under the guise of preserving Catholic orthodoxy. The Spanish Inquisition would go on to leave an indelible mark on history, a chilling reminder of the dangers of intolerance and the misuse of power. As we delve deeper into this complex chapter of the past, we will explore how this institution of fear and repression operated, who its victims were, and the legacy it left behind. Once established, the Inquisition spread like wildfire, consuming anyone in its path who dared to defy the Catholic faith. Its methods were chilling, its impact devastating, and its legacy profound. The Inquisition's machinery of torment was elaborate and terrifying. Inquisitors employed a range of brutal methods, from physical torture to psychological intimidation. The infamous rack, strappado, and water torture were among the apparatus used to extract confessions, instilling fear and dread in the hearts of those who found themselves in the Inquisitors' clutches. Public trials, known as autos da fe, were grand spectacles of power and control. The accused, often paraded in grotesque outfits symbolizing their alleged heresy, were subjected to public humiliation before an eager crowd. Verdicts were delivered without mercy, with punishments ranging from confiscation of property to public flogging, and in extreme cases, execution by burning. The impact of these methods was far-reaching. The victims were not the only ones who suffered. Their families, stripped of dignity and livelihood, were often left to fend for themselves in a society that shunned them. The wider community lived in perpetual fear, their every word and action scrutinized for signs of heresy. This climate of fear and suspicion eroded trust, breeding an atmosphere of paranoia that seeped into every corner of society. The Inquisition's reign was not merely about the enforcement of religious orthodoxy, it was a display of absolute power, a statement of dominance by the Catholic Church and the monarchy. It was a reign of terror, designed to suppress dissent and maintain control, demonstrating the lengths to which those in power would go to preserve their authority. The reign of the Inquisition was a reign of terror, marked by brutal methods and cold-blooded executions. This dark chapter in history serves as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of unchecked power and religious intolerance, a lesson we must never forget. The Inquisition did not discriminate in its mission to root out heresy. Its primary targets were those who dared to challenge the religious norms of the time: Jews, Muslims, and so-called heretics. These victims were often accused on the basis of rumors, personal grudges, or even simple misunderstandings. Let's consider the Jews first. In the late 15th century, Spain was home to one of the largest Jewish communities in the world. However, under the Inquisition, Jews were forced to convert to Christianity or face expulsion. Even those who converted, known as conversos, were not safe. They were often accused of secretly practicing their old faith, leading to brutal interrogations and trials. Muslims, too, were not spared from the Inquisition's wrath. After the fall of Granada in 1492, Muslims were given the same ultimatum as the Jews: convert or leave. Those who stayed and converted, the Moriscos, were constantly under suspicion of secretly adhering to their old beliefs and customs. And then, there were the so-called heretics. These were individuals who dared to question or challenge the Catholic Church's doctrines. They came from all walks of life, from scholars and philosophers to simple peasants. Notable among them was Giordano Bruno, an Italian philosopher who was burnt at the stake for his radical ideas about the universe. The Inquisition's cruelty was not limited to physical torture. It also included psychological torment. The accused were often kept in dark, dank cells for days, weeks, or even months, not knowing when their trial would take place or what their fate would be. In the name of faith, countless lives were ruthlessly extinguished. The Inquisition's terror was not just about maintaining religious purity, it was about control, power, and the silencing of voices that dared to be different. But as we delve further into this dark past, let us remember those who suffered and those who resisted, for their stories are a stark reminder of the depths to which intolerance can plunge us. The Spanish Inquisition officially ended in 1834, but its legacy lived on. A dark chapter in Spain's history, the Spanish Inquisition left more than just a trail of blood and tears. It left an indelible mark on the nation and the world at large. The Inquisition's influence seeped into the fabric of society, shaping norms, culture, and politics in ways that resonate even today. The Inquisition was the embodiment of religious fanaticism and intolerance. It set a dangerous precedent, showing how easily power can be manipulated under the guise of faith. This misuse of power wasn't confined to Spain. It echoed around the world, setting a grim example for other nations. The Inquisition's obsession with religious purity fostered a culture of fear and suspicion. It drove a wedge between communities, creating divisions based on religious beliefs that took centuries to heal. This climate of fear and distrust had a profound impact on Spain's cultural and societal norms, fostering an atmosphere of repression that stifled progress. In the political sphere, the Inquisition served as a tool of control for the monarchy. It consolidated power in the hands of the few, suppressing dissent and stifling freedom of thought. This centralization of power significantly influenced Spain's political landscape, shaping it into what it is today. The Inquisition also had a lasting impact on Spain's Jewish and Muslim communities. The mass expulsions and forced conversions left these communities devastated, their rich cultural heritage nearly wiped out. Yet their resilience in the face of such adversity is a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity. The shadow of the Inquisition continues to loom large over Spain's history and identity. The Inquisition's legacy serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of intolerance and the misuse of power. It underscores the importance of freedom of thought and belief, serving as a lesson for future generations to uphold these fundamental human rights. The Spanish Inquisition, a dark chapter in human history, offers valuable lessons. As we look back on these grim pages, we find that they serve as a mirror, reflecting the past and providing a guide for the future. The Inquisition, in its relentless pursuit of religious purity, stands as a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked power. When authority is concentrated and unchallenged, it can lead to the erosion of human rights and dignity. It underscores the importance of checks and balances in any system, to prevent the misuse of power and protect individuals from persecution. Equally, the Inquisition offers insights into the complex interplay of faith and society. It paints a picture of a time when religion was wielded as a tool of control, rather than a source of moral guidance and comfort. This serves as a cautionary tale, reminding us of the need for a clear separation between faith and state, ensuring that belief remains a personal matter, free from coercion. Furthermore, the Inquisition highlights the value of tolerance. The persecution of those deemed heretics, Jews and Muslims, underscores the destructive consequences of intolerance. In our diverse, interconnected world, it's vital to respect and appreciate our differences, be they of faith, ethnicity, or ideology, rather than fear or suppress them. Finally, the Inquisition teaches us about the importance of standing up against injustice. The silence of those who witnessed the horrors, either out of fear or indifference, allowed the atrocities to continue. Today, it reminds us of our shared responsibility to speak out against injustice wherever and however it manifests. The Spanish Inquisition, while a grim period of our past, is a rich source of lessons for today. By remembering and understanding this history, we can strive to prevent such atrocities from happening again. May the lessons from the Spanish Inquisition guide us towards a more tolerant, compassionate world.